We are live.
Do you want to confess anything now to avoid humiliation, or do I have to interrogate you?
What happened now?
Come on. You know what I'm going to ask about.
I don't.
Please tell me it's not you that runs an account called Very Good Show Quotes.
It is not me. It is not me.
Do you have any idea who it could be?
I don't.
I hope, and that's that. If it is someone that listens, that's very cool. That's good. There's a Very Good Show fan out there. If I find out it's you or Mike, you're out.
I asked Mike several times today if it was him because it seems like something he would do. But
well, not only that, the account has 3 followers. Would you care to guess who they are?
Probably the show, me and Mike.
That's absolutely. It's odd that you know that, right? So quickly.
Well, it happened this morning, so obviously I was looking at it.
Right. Of course. That has to be it.
Mike used to, I don't think it's Mike because he used to do quotes from our show on the show account before, but they were not accurate ever.
That's good.
So this one's been accurate.
That's good. That'd be great if you guys got successful and they used that as a source. Like, look at this horrible thing that was said on Very Good Show. And he's like, well, technically, we didn't actually say it.
That is inaccurate. I actually said I don't like those people.
All right. Well, then I have to find out who that is. But more likely, what I'm really asking for is that a gearhead do some investigating, because I'm certain it's one of these buffoons trying to make me think that Very Good Show has this great fan base that's doing all this extra work for them.
We have a great fan base. It's small, but it packs a punch.
Is there a name for Very Good Show fan, like the gearheads?
I have no
fans.
Yeah, nothing yet. I couldn't. I can't think of anything.
Goodies, gooder. I can't think of anything.
The Good Samaritans.
That's not bad, actually. The Good Samaritans.
Very, very good Samaritans.
I don't know if it makes a great hashtag, but
no, it doesn't. It's a long one.
Yeah, please, folks, let me know. And if maybe it's someone watching right now that will confess to this, but otherwise, there's going to be a full-scale investigation into who is quoting. And from what I've seen, was the show all about me and Justin this week, or what the fuck is going on? That's why I know about it.
They're really hyper-focused on that part.
Yeah.
No, we were talking about right before we recorded yesterday, my friendly neighborhood crackhead drove by us. So I was like, see, I had a witness to it in Mike. So
really? Well, we can get that out of the way. I have a couple big announcements in a moment, but first we could talk about this, because you did say if you follow along on patreon.com/blindmike, I don't know if this was ever discussed on a free episode, but Craig lives in the projects, evidently. And there's always, you think my neighbors are bad. Oh, the riffraff that Craig interacts with. They're beating their children. They're stealing cars. Who knows what's going on in that neighborhood. So you have an update, you said.
Yeah. So yesterday, Mike gets to my house, and I usually meet him outside. And as we're standing in my driveway, in the distance, we can just hear someone going, "I'm going to shit all over your face. I'm going to shit all over your face." And it gets closer and closer.
Sounds like a nice intimate evening.
Mm-hmm. And it's that same kid that I saw before, just walking around with the Celtics hat and the Celtics shirt and the leprechaun hat.
Now, when you say kid,
he's 27.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, trust me. Yeah. I know a lot about this kid now. I know his name. I know everything.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So he's offering you a nice treat. I assume you were polite and reciprocated.
So we heard him saying it in the distance. Me and Mike were very visible when he came by on a motorized scooter, 2 backpacks, in the same Rajon Rondo jersey.
Yeah, why wouldn't he be? That's exactly how I pictured him. You don't have to describe it.
Yeah, and he just did not look at us once. Just flew by going, "I'm going to shit all over your face." Right? So today, my wife gets home, and she's not feeling very comfortable about it.
She's not ready for shit in her mouth.
Right.
That's surprising.
So she calls the cops.
Oh, what a ninny!
What
a scab!
This
snitch.
Kids in the neighborhood, everything. Yeah, she did snitch. She did. So the cop comes and it is a female cop who is just a gossip queen, apparently.
Oh, well, yeah, aren't they all? Oh, it's about all they can do. Am I right?
Yeah. So we find out that this kid is on the cop's hot list, as she called it. Because
Ooh.
yeah.
The 10 sexiest meth heads.
Yeah. She's on the hot list because I guess other people have been calling about him.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, he lives a couple streets down. And so she ends up telling my wife the kid's name and like everything about him. So she Googled him.
Is that protocol?
Don't know.
I cannot imagine.
Well,
oh, you gotta hear about this guy.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what happened. She goes to my wife. She's like, "Hold on one second," and calls the police station and goes, because there's all those like car burglaries going on in the neighborhood.
Can you guys believe what Franco's been doing? He's at it again.
Yeah, exactly. We'll call him. Yeah, I don't give a shit. I'll accidentally say his real name if I make up a fake one.
I said Franco. Let's go with that. What's wrong with that?
Franco.
Or does that not represent the? I'm sure you want to dot all the I's and cross all the T's here.
Yeah. So Franco. So she calls and she's like, "Could Franco be our guy, the one that's breaking into all the cars?" And apparently she goes, "Nah, I didn't think so," and hangs up the phone. And she goes, "Yeah, Franco, he's out like all over the place mentally. He can't do anything right." And the guy who's
he is just a comedy of errors. Follow old Franco.
Yeah, exactly. And she says that the guy that's been stealing in from the cars and everything has been very calculated in his movements around town.
That doesn't seem like Franco.
Not like Franco at all. So the cop ends up leaving, and my wife decides to do a Google search. Right?
Boy, I gotta say, your wife is a real nosy Nelly.
Well, this kid
gotta mind her fucking business before she gets, the Franco special.
I'm all. Oh, he'll. Yeah. The Franco special will not be dishing that one out. I'll say that.
No, that ain't chocolate ice cream you're getting, sweetheart. You know, he's very upfront about what he's serving you.
Yeah. So we end up Googling Franco, and he's been in drug court. Right? Can you guys hear my kids screaming?
Oh, is that what that was? I heard something.
You could hear that? Jesus Christ.
Franco came knocking on your door. He knows what your wife's been doing.
Yeah, right.
There is, I'm sure Craig is a lovely family. I've not met them. I'm sure they're very nice people, but there is a funny image to Craig walking out to a Chris Benoit situation in his living room. No! The Rajon Rondo jersey just skirts away.
I hang myself from the Peloton. So I look him up, and he has been, it was 10 years ago, but he was arrested for assault and battery with this woman. They went and stole from a friend of theirs, thinking they were going to be incognito or something like that.
Ooh.
He's been arrested for impersonating a police officer.
I like that. By the sounds of Franco, I don't know how intricate it was. I don't know if he fooled anyone.
Yeah. So this kid was in drug court, and a friend of mine was in drug court before. So, and he happens to know this fella.
Oh, small world.
Yeah. So drug court can go one of two ways. The way it went for my friend, where it works and he's been clean for years, or it goes the way of Franco and you get kicked out of drug court, and that's why Craig is now seeing him all the time.
Now, what does that mean, kicked out of drug court?
So drug court is basically a halfway house.
Oh, I assumed drug court was exactly what it sounded like.
It is. So that's part of it. So you get drug tested, I think like 4 times a week. You have to go to court. You have to do all these things, and a judge decides whether you have to go.
Okay, so Artie Lang type shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I text my friend and I go, what do you make of this Franco guy?
You got eyes on Franco?
And so he knows who he was from drug court.
Yeah.
And he just sends, "Stay away from him."
Oh no.
Yeah. And I go, "Well, that's the plan." I said, "Should I be keeping one in the chamber?"
He's mine.
Yeah. He responds again. He not only uses tons of methods, but cooks meth as well.
Tons of methods?
I think he meant to say, sorry. tons of meth.
Okay.
But considered accidental typo.
Says, so sort of a Jesse Pinkman pre Walter White.
So that's exactly what I was thinking. He kind of he dressed. That's exactly what this kid looks like.
All right.
Yeah.
More of a badger, I guess. He never, Jesse's a little too smart.
So he dresses like Jesse, acts like Badger.
Okay.
That's Franco.
That is so Franco.
Classic Franco.
Well, I mean, Jesus, stay safe out there. This guy just patrols your street, basically.
Well, yeah, and he says, I can almost promise you that he's got a lab near your house.
If that's what he calls it.
Well, apparently this kid cooks.
This fucking basement.
He's not mentally stable, and I don't know why he's not in prison after being kicked out of drug court. This is my favorite part, and this is how you can tell which way my friend leans towards the law. He's also a heinous rat.
Well, I mean, don't tell this guy what your wife did. Jesus.
Yeah. He's unpredictable when up for days doing meth. So my friend,
aren't we all?
So my friend who I was like, hey, what is this drug when you just walk and talking to yourself? And he goes, definitely meth. Turns out he was absolutely correct.
I would think so. Yeah, that's probably a pretty good guess.
He's,
or something in the meth family.
So, right. That was the biggest part of the cop being at the house is she just casually goes, yeah, he's a big time drug addict and a schizophrenic. I was like, great.
Again, that feels like, kind of private information.
Right.
I'm going to call this. That's what I thought of listening to the case. And just in general, like hearing this story, it shows you how often I'm sure they deal with this guy every fucking day.
Mm.
So there comes a point where I can almost like sympathize with cops, even though it's not right to do. Like this is not how the system should run. But I do understand, like, when you deal with this guy every day, it must just get exhausting to the point where you're like, who gives a fuck? That's Franco, right.
Typical Franco.
I'm just going to come back and we do this all over again tomorrow, Let Franco slide on this one.
Yeah, but that's
he hacks up a body.
That's exactly why I haven't seen him yet, is because he was either in prison or drug court.
So do you, do your kids often play outside and everything?
Yeah.
Is anyone scared about Franco?
I
he seem like a harmless, friendly meth addict.
To be honest, and in Franco's defense, he's kept to himself.
Good. Without, busybodies like the missus. I hate to say it.
Fucking rat.
Without people poking their nose into Franco's business, he seems like a pretty sweet fella. Like I'm saying, he made you and Mike a pretty nice offer.
I just hot off the presses, knew my Kingpin Pete type friend. He just sent me a text as I just received it. He had a long prison sentence. I've personally gotten arrested with him.
Oh, that sounds like fun. I'd like to get arrested with Franco sometime.
I don't want to. He seems very fucked up.
Got arrested with him.
Yeah.
Like, we suited up.
Went
out for the night.
In Pat's hometown. Pat and Lawrence hometown.
Oh, in Lawrence.
Yeah.
Well, shout out Pat. Keep your head on a swivel, buddy. We need you around.
I'm just gonna go outside one day and Franco's gonna be on the swing with my son.
It'd be great if he was a big fan. He's like, I heard you talking, motherfucker.
Dude, that would be fucked up. I just described everything about him, and he's like, "That's the only shirt I have."
He's wearing a Blind Mike. Jesus Christ, a Blind Mike Project T-shirt, and he's like, "Listen here, motherfucker."
Well, it sounds like he's been in prison since Blindside Pods, so it could be.
Yeah, maybe he was a big fan of that. When is that coming back, by the way?
I prefer MHB.
Yeah, what happened to MHB?
You just drive by.
Now he was funny.
Yeah, I get drive by heckled. Yeah, is it Franco or Frank O? I think
Frank. Oh no, is what you should be saying.
That's what I'm saying
when he hears this.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Patreon, a couple big, not big announcements, I guess, but newsworthy notes, I guess. If you're subscribed to Patreon.com/BlindMike, tiers starting as little as $1 a month, where you can watch all live streams. $5 and $10 tiers as well. $500 if you're so inclined. I was glad to hear from everyone in Madawaska was like, isn't it weird that people thought you were serious about that? I was like, I don't understand how you could possibly.
What, the 500?
Yeah.
It's called Silent Partners. Grow up.
Yes, you and I are going into business together. Yes, but yes, tiers starting as little as $1 a month. Patreon.com/blindmike, where you can hopefully listen on an RSS feed as well.
Yeah.
Now,
Yep.
are we gonna have that situated now?
As of right this second, it's not, because I still haven't talked to Justin.
Yeah.
So I'm hopefully going to be fixing that this afternoon.
Yes, it seems like the team here at the Blind Mike Project thought that I only wanted episodes loaded, like, when I asked for them. When I hassled you about them. They're like, oh, I guess he wants this one up.
Yeah.
So the second I stop asking, episodes stop getting. So if you are listening and don't know what I'm talking about, there's an RSS feed. Like, a lot of people complain about having to watch on YouTube, which there's nothing we can do about that. That's just how Patreon works, really. A lot of people ask, why don't you just upload it to Patreon? You can't. You're not able to do that. So that's why you have to upload shit to YouTube. And that can be annoying. It can drain your data if you're driving around or whatever. So we created an RSS feed and put the audio up of the episodes while I asked for them. And we had what seemed like a foolproof system and plan in place. And I would ask Craig, just send the episodes to Justin, and he would say, yep, and then Justin would upload them. And then I would stop asking them, and they would stop getting uploaded. So now I have given full control to Craig, which means in 2 weeks, we'll reconvene here so I have this discussion with you guys again and assure you that they'll start being uploaded.
It is not in my possession until I'll tweet it out so everyone will know from this point forth.
Okay, good.
But
don't tweet out the link, though.
No. I'll just say, hey, I have the RSS feed.
Yes, I've got the goods.
Then you'll know when it's, because it's going to be a lot easier to do that. I don't have to put it on a Google Drive and email it. So instead of doing all that shit, I'll just
well, that's what I think. I was like, Justin's probably not even thinking about it.
Clearly,
so he's not an employee here at the Blind Mike Project, so he just sees that and just fucking sloughs it off. So I figure, why do we have this extra step? Why not just have? It makes a hell of a lot more sense to just have Craig do it.
Yeah. Is Craig the $500 tier patron? Is that how he became the producer? Yes, it is.
Yes, that's correct. He pays me $500 a month to produce the shows, and then I bitch when things aren't done right.
Yeah,
that's the arrangement we have worked out.
Imagine that's how.
What the fuck is this?
I'm paying you.
Not enough.
Did you see the dentist this week? Shut up.
Should be $1,000 a month.
I was very confused with the way you started the show. I was like, what did I fucking do now? I was like, what else? What else did I do?
Well, I was just looking at that and I was like, all the signs point to this being one of these idiots controlling this account.
It was very flattering.
It is. If it's not you, that's a very nice gesture.
It's not me.
Whoever that is.
I really don't want to know who it is. Unless it's Mike, because then I do.
I just want to know that it's not one of you. That's all I want to know.
It's for sure not me. Oh, dude, Matt. By the way, our latest episode out right now called Buffalo Matt can be heard everywhere. Matt went on a date last night, and we haven't heard from him since.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it was with Franco.
Maybe he's just out on Franco's front lawn.
Oh,
no shirt on.
Haven't heard from him at all, huh?
No.
And would you have in this period of time? Like, did you text him or anything?
So we tried calling him twice during the show because we wanted to see how getting ready.
Sure, interrupt him on a date. That's normal. Normal friend stuff.
I wanted to see how getting ready was going. Like what's he wearing, chain inside or outside of the shirt, those kind of things. Didn't answer, and we haven't heard from him since.
Well, Godspeed. May Matt from Very Good Show be in your hearts. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I hope Matt might be dead. It's very true. That's the thing.
You guys live dangerous lives.
That's the thing with you suicidal fucks is like, I don't hear from him. I'm like, whoa, I assume the worst.
Yeah, you never know.
Where did he go?
I should do that. I should scare people. I mean, I guess now I'm doing all right, so no one would really think about it. Mm-hmm. But I would like, I've never done this, but I do definitely get in a state where, like, am I most depressed? I want to know people care. So I'm actually surprised I've never just like gone dark for a couple days to see if anyone would notice.
Yeah, I would.
Where the fuck am I? Well, now, yeah. But like there were times I always think about this type of shit, and Matt might be your friend for this. I always think like, who is my friend that I could most easily kill and get away with it?
Oh, I always think of that stuff.
Yeah, the answer for a long time was the warthog. His girlfriend may come, nosying around now, but
Yeah, but instead of calling the cops, she seems like she would call you, and you'd be like, "I have no idea," and then that would be
he's here. Would you like to talk to him? I do an impression.
friend that would be easiest to kill.
Yeah.
Probably Franco.
Oh, sure. I guess no one. Yeah.
I guess that would be pretty easy because it's his parents' house that's near me, and since he got kicked out of jail and drug court, so I'm assuming if he went missing, no one would really ask twice, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the answer to that question is always a homeless person. Like, the easiest person to kill would be a homeless person, for sure.
The new thing is, where would you do it? Because there's so many cameras everywhere.
Yeah, I guess. But, I mean, in a back alley or something,
Yeah.
Well, I've told you about the Fenway Stomper, right?
Yeah. Oh, wait, no.
That
No,
guy
no,
gets away with it.
Is that that's the guy's currently out there, isn't he?
Oh, the Fenway Stomper lurks in the night.
Yeah. Is that the guy that takes like the like freshly 21-year-old males?
No. You're thinking of the Southie something. I forget the name of the gentleman you're thinking of, but
He's still active. He's still active, that guy.
Oh, well, so's the Stomper.
No way.
So I had heard this story of the Fenway Stomper from a cop buddy of mine,
Mm-hmm.
where he got his name because he's a homeless gentleman who kind of lurks around Fenway Park, and he kills other homeless people by stomping them to death.
Really?
Yeah. And the cops can't really do anything about it because there's no evidence. I guess he does it in an area where there are no cameras. They're just other homeless people, so they don't have, you can't really trace them. So there's nothing anyone can really do about it. So he stomps other homeless people. And then one day when I was working for Entercom, we were working an event outside Fenway Park, and a guy comes up to me. Clearly, he looked, we referenced Jesse Pinkman, he looked like, Jesse Pinkman when he escaped in the finale.
Oh.
That's what this guy looks like. And he comes up to me and he's just mumbling nonsense. And I go, what's that?
Why?
And I don't know. And I thought maybe I just didn't hear him. And he goes, and I go, oh, okay. And just kind of nod my head. And he walks away. And then one of the hot dog vendors at Fenway Park says, you know who that guy is, right? And I said, no. He goes, well, he's sort of a vigilante. And I said, what do you mean by that? He says he keeps the streets clean. I said, okay, well, do tell. And he says, well, that's the Fenway Stomper. And I said, well, say no more, sir. I know exactly who you're talking about. So I came in contact. I could have had him.
Did you feel insulted that he approached you?
I think he was feeling me out. Like, is this another homeless guy? Should I be stomping this guy to death? Or
no, this guy smells like fresh L'Oreal. He's not homeless.
He looks homeless, but he smells all right.
Yeah, clearly has running water.
Yeah.
So that guy never got arrested?
No, they can't. I mean, they can't track him.
Typical.
Like, they know it's him, but they don't have the evidence to lock him away.
Typical Marty Walsh.
Yeah.
I like how
I thought in the movie version, me and this hot dog vendor kind of team up, take him down. Although it seemed like the hot dog vendor sort of liked him.
Well, I mean, I don't hate it.
He's like, he eliminates homeless men.
I do enjoy, the fact that he went up to you. He probably saw that you were blind and was like, well, this guy can't identify me.
Yeah, but this is a friend.
I can get my thoughts out on this guy.
I found an ally.
Which way did he go? Officer, I actually have zero idea.
So, do you people giving my guy Andrew Yang shit? That's the type of person he's talking about.
Oh,
the Fenway Stomper.
Everyone overreacting. He talking about the mentally ill.
Yeah, I mean, you can't win with these fucking people.
Well, I mean, they're all like, wow, because they're thinking he's talking about retarded people. When in reality, talking about
or not. You know what? Not even that. If you listen to the clip, you almost think he's talking about someone like me who's just on medication.
Oh, I assume.
You know what I mean?
when I heard him say it, I assumed Franco types.
Yeah, well, of course, I think that's what people like you and I think, irrational human beings. But what I'm saying is the Twitter mob made it seem like he was just talking about people who suffer from depression or mental illness. Just regular, everyday people who deal with these things. What he was talking about was the string of beatings of Asian Americans that everyone seems to have been outraged about. Right? Like, that's a good thing to speak out against for Andrew Yang.
Yep.
And he said a lot of this is coming from the homeless community. And, the mentally ill certainly have rights, but we have rights too. We have the right to walk down the street and not feel threatened, all that sort of shit. And people were like, how could you, Andrew? Andrew thinks the mentally ill they think they're just murderers.
I'm surprised.
He was specifically talking about people with mental illness who murder
or
assault.
Yeah, I'm surprised Black Lives Matter hasn't jumped on this one yet, because you said, yeah, they're all mentally ill, and it's always black people doing it. So I'm surprised they haven't attacked him for that.
Well, listen, I don't subscribe to that sort of thinking, but
well, I mean, it's basically true.
I don't know that. I haven't looked into the stats. Craig is the one saying that, and that's me denouncing. I'm saying no, that's bad of you. Bad.
If you show me a video of a white guy doing it, I'll stop.
Okay, it's not. Please, someone come up with a video of a white guy doing it, just so we can put this to bed.
Now, to every one you show me, I got about
no. Let's not. This is a dangerous road we're going down here.
All right, sorry.
House Racist, Craig Coney, folks. Very good show. It is nice to have someone. I feel like I've given Craig enough praise on this program lately, but it is also nice to add to his attributes. It's nice to have someone that makes me look liberal.
Yeah.
Like, by comparison, they're like, this, snowflake cuck Mike.
Hey, but to be fair, we never talk about like gay people's rights, which I'm all for, but that stuff never comes up. So all the right side of my brain topics always come up, not the left side.
I understand.
You know what I mean?
I understand.
But show me those videos.
Yes, so the Fenway Stomper, where was that? Oh, well, the other show announcement that we have is that I believe, because I wouldn't have gone on that rant about the RSS feed if we were just shutting it down, I believe I will still be able to do the Blind Mike project under this arrangement. But I am very happy to announce that I am teaming up with a very popular podcaster named Sofia Franklin, and we're starting a brand new podcast. I'm her new partner. And we're looking for $20 million a year, if you can scrape that up. Oh. So alert Spotify and Stitcher and all the other outlets. Me and Sofia Franklin are going at it.
God, I hate her so much.
I think that would make, I got to say, everyone thinks it's, revolutionary that two women on a podcast say blowjob. I think it would be revolutionary to have someone like Sofia Franklin talking sex with someone like me.
Smarter.
You know what I mean?
Hotter than you, cooler than you, richer than you.
See, wow. She could get away with burns like that. Because she is all of those things. And then you've got someone with my voice saying, it would just be fun to hear me say rim job, I don't
care how busted I look right now.
Oh, you look great, Sophia. You look great compared to me.
Listen to this segue. I am ready to have a baby.
Well, let me put one in you, sweetheart.
I come out of my blackout to the sound of rigorous fucking. I mean,
you think I don't know what that's like, Sophia?
Rigorous fucking.
I was sharing a room with Justin that night.
I didn't have, 12 rosés and 10 sake shots.
10 rosés feels like a lot.
That's a ton.
I can imagine getting blacked out off that.
On top of 10 sake shots? Absolutely.
I suspect she may not have done that much.
I smelled like steak.
What is that like, Sophia? See, we do a good podcast. Ask questions like that. I feel like those just flew over Alex Cooper's head,
Mind-boggling shit.
Yeah, that is. I know the Fenway Stomper. It's crazy, right? These people going after Andrew Yang. Can you believe it, Sophia?
You just look like a bitch.
Why? Because I'm complaining? It's cancel culture, Sophia. What don't you understand? It's a problem in this country.
I am a 19-year-old male.
Well, those are mostly the problem. I'll tell you, these 19-year-olds And a lot of them men, a lot of these white knights out there, that is the problem, Sophia.
Rigorous fucking.
Well, no, I would not with a 19-year-old. I'm too old now. I would get me too'd.
No, you'd be fine. You would be fine.
With a 19-year-old?
Yeah.
I don't think you're allowed to do that anymore. I'm 29, almost 30.
I mean, legally, you're fine.
Oh, I know that, but God forbid.
Listen to this segue. I guess I am pregnant.
No, she's not, right? Where did we get these drops?
So,
breaking news, folks.
I had to listen to the latest episode to find these.
These are all from one episode?
Yeah.
Boy, it seems like a lot of hysterics going on that program.
I could not go through any more than one.
How bad is the name Sophia with an F?
She calls the show Swaff.
Oof.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't.
She calls the show Swaff.
Oh, that's terrible.
Isn't that disgusting?
Swaff sounds like something you wash your pussy out with. See, I can get vulgar, Sophia. We can go back and forth. A little rat-a-tat. Huh?
Fucking.
Yeah, and she started her own media company called Sloot Media.
Oh, we get it. We got it. You like sex.
Yeah.
We understand, Sophia. Jesus, how miserable must she be? We didn't really talk about this. We talked about Call Her Daddy on the Patreon a couple days ago. But what we didn't really talk about is Sophia's reaction. And I've been, speaking of vigorous, I've been vigorously reloading her Twitter to see if we get a reaction out of her. And I haven't seen anything yet.
Smarter than you, hotter than you, cooler than you, richer than you. I don't care how busted I look right now.
That's actual sound from Alex Cooper's voicemail. Listen here, you fucking bitch. Oh, must she hate that Peter Nelson?
Oh, yeah. I can't tell if they're still together or not.
I was going to ask about that because there's got to be some friction in the household.
Well, because several times in this episode, she talked about her boyfriend. And at this point, if she's not saying who it is, she's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, that is odd. Although, I'll tell you this, maybe it's a tactic because everyone knows if she kept saying Suit Man or Peter Nelson, I think even her listeners would be like, oh, fuck you for still being with that guy. So maybe it's almost a way of masking it.
Yeah, Steve's grandma said that you and Sophia can interview your therapist.
Oh, that would be a lot of fun.
Oh.
What a threesome that would be, huh? Me and my therapist tag teaming Sophia.
I didn't have, 12 rosés and 10 sake shots.
Oh, how were you feeling after that, Sophia? Were you feeling loose?
I guess I am pregnant.
Oh, my God. So you let someone spread their seed inside of you.
Mind-boggling shit.
Yes, when they ejaculated inside of you. It was so mind-boggling. You couldn't grasp it, could you, Sophia?
I smelled like steak.
Yes, well, that... Sophia, you've even baffled me on this one. I am a trained therapist, and I'm not sure how to take that.
I am a 19-year-old male.
What was the context of I smelled like steak, if you could enlighten us?
I believe she was talking about burning her hair with a hair straightener. I wanted to shoot myself in the fucking head listening to this.
How long did you get through?
The whole fucking thing.
Now that's dedication.
Yeah. Well, I was
you got to say, Craig, even if you are creating your own parody accounts, then kudos to you, my friend. Good job.
Do I have to show the camera my Twitter to prove I didn't do it?
No.
Oh, so the context was in our show last night, Mike talked about how he used to throw quotes up because he doesn't know anything that's going on. And I go, I gave you our show Twitter and you don't use it at all.
Oh, okay. So you think someone listened and did that because of that conversation?
For sure.
Okay, that makes a little more sense.
No,
I'm willing to buy that.
I straight up said, someone make an account.
Okay. All right. These are good people. They'll do as asked.
Yeah. Someone make a Blind Mike project quotes. How about that?
I guess. I don't know if we need the world knowing what we say back here.
That's true.
Let it be a little clubhouse.
Mind-boggling shit.
Oh, mind-boggling shit was reading Variety that morning.
Oh, I know.
Can you imagine?
Cooler than you, richer than you.
And my immediate comparison was like if you left Amazon in 1999 or Apple in 85 or something like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or sold all your stock. That's what it would be like. But it wouldn't really be like that. It would be like leaving Amazon the day before they IPO'd.
Well, the thing that was weird about it is the announcement of Call Her Daddy happens. Alex is going to be worth like $60 million minimum.
Yeah.
By the end of this. So I put this on, and like one of the first things you hear is, "Hey, Alex," and I go, "Oh, fuck! I thought I was actually going to listen to something interesting."
Craig thought I sent him on the craziest mission. I'm like, listen, only I know about this.
So it turns out
the daddy gang is back together.
Turns out Sofia's cousin, named Alex, is now the producer of the show or some shit like that.
I mean, that's just weird.
I think her fucking cousin's name is like Stephanie, and she's like,
I feel like you're right, but it's so bizarre because I would do the opposite.
Oh yeah.
Like if your name was Kirk Stevenson, I would be like, we're not calling you that. We're calling you Craig.
What a name.
But it's just like the odds of that. I mean, to bring in a producer named Alex that I'm sure she also makes do all the work.
Yeah.
You know, it's I feel like she has to kind of live a sad life. Like I almost feel bad for her.
Mind-boggling shit.
Even though she did dig her own grave.
Do you hear all this vocal fry coming out of this fucking hole?
Let me hear it again.
Oh, just listen to the end. Ugh.
Mind-boggling shit.
A little bit. Maybe a little bit.
There's a ton. Shit.
Yeah. So I'm so curious, not about the Alex. I think we focused on Alex on Tuesday, but I'm more focused on the other aspects of this. I want to see Barstool just put two women talking sex out there and see if it does as well as Call Her Daddy.
So I listened to Portnoy show this week. Did you?
I did not.
So turns out because they own half of it.
Yeah. I know they own merchandise, right?
Yeah, so they're selling all the merch, which is what Dave said he prefers anyways. And he also said that if they could have gotten even in the same ballpark, that Alex would have stayed for less money.
Really?
Yeah. I guess their relationship's pretty good.
I mean, yeah, I think we just spoke too soon, which I kind of figured. But when we talked on Tuesday, I was like, it's weird that they haven't really reacted yet. But then not long after that, I saw Dave tweet like, we created the two most famous women on the internet, like Jenna Marbles and Alex Cooper.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care how busted I look right now.
Boy, Sofia doesn't even get mentioned in that. Because I thought for sure when he said the two most, I was like, oh, he's giving Sofia credit. Nope.
No.
She can't even get that.
Did you see how many fucking reviews Swaff has?
How many?
Like 80,000.
But what's it? Are those bad reviews or good?
It's 4.5 stars. That's pretty good.
Oh, okay, because I didn't know if it was like the daddy gang fucking with her, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And don't call it swaff like you're in.
Well, that's what she's.
You're a listener now. You listen to one episode. You're not one of them.
Well, I was saying it, sarcastically.
I have 12 rosés and 10 sake shots.
Craig's gonna be wearing swaff merch next thing.
Ugh.
He's gonna be running Sofia quotes. She's just a different voice than you hear in women today.
And you know what's funny? Man, I can't. No, never mind.
What are you gonna say?
I was gonna just start talking about her appearance, but who am I?
Oh no, stop it. She's a lovely woman.
Yeah, could land.
You don't think so?
Could land a plane on her forehead, but
oh, stop! I will say I hate when people do that shit. When you take an attractive girl and just nitpick the one thing so that you can tell yourself, like, oh, I wouldn't hit it on her if I saw her at a bar.
She makes fun of fat people all fucking show.
Does she?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Now I'm hurt personally.
Right now, I don't care how busted I look right now.
It'd be great if her next episode was just insulting me. And she doesn't even talk about Alex. She's just like, you this fat piece of shit.
Imagine if she responded and we just
she never addresses Alex getting 60 million. She just addresses me.
Yeah. And then, we just get the leftover daddy gang coming after us.
That'd be fun.
It would be.
We should get in a. That's why I want to team up with Sophia.
Yeah.
Because I want to get into a real podcast war.
Yeah.
I think that's what puts Blind Mike Project on the map.
Ask Sophia, anyone listening. I'm just curious who told her that her podcast logo picture was a good look. Just ask her.
Stop it.
Oh, what are you?
You're telling me I'll use the Office trick. Do you remember, you a fan of The Office?
Yeah.
Remember when they argue, is Hillary Swank hot?
Yeah.
And Jim describes to Kevin her coming up to him at a bar?
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me if Sofia Franklin approached you on a slow night in New Hampshire.
Absolutely.
Like, sorry, sweetheart.
I'm just being purposely mean right now.
That's what I'm saying. I don't go for that.
No.
We don't go for that here. We don't go for shaming.
Well, I mean, like the first thing she would say to me would be like, "Shut up, fat ass."
That's 100% true. That is, you're right. She would be very mean to you and me.
And she would just keep saying this drop to us left and right.
Smarter than you, hotter than you, cooler than you, richer than you.
I don't think she would give us that much time. I think she would say, no thanks.
You just look like a bitch.
That's more the line I'm thinking we would get.
I don't care how busted I look right now. You just look like a bitch.
That's actually perfect. That's what she should say to you.
I bought the soundboard that one Steve Robinson used, and I am very excited because I finally figured out how to use it.
Oh, Jesus. Well, let's not get crazy here.
I'm not.
I don't want to rip off a great man.
Oh no, it's just the one on this board, you just have 8 options at a time, and it's really hard.
I see what you're saying.
So now it's just everything's in front of me, and it's nice.
I thought you meant the actual daddy sound.
No.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, so if you're Sophia, like you have to be miserable because you missed out. It wasn't like years later, Call Her Daddy took off and they got this $60 million. Like Alex was miserable at Barstool for a long time, but then finally got the deal they wanted. It was a year later. Like if she just kept her fucking mouth shut for a year.
Yeah. And the fact that she turned down basically $1 million to wait for, what was it, 6 months?
To do the same podcast with a different girl named Alex?
Yeah.
That's incredible that her producer's name is Alex.
Like, you shut your fucking mouth for 6 stupid months, idiot, and you're on the Spotify deal, and I guarantee you it's more towards Rogan numbers if they're both together.
Yeah, and, well, maybe not. I don't know how much the numbers went down. But,
no, I meant price-wise, like money.
No, I know, but I'm saying I don't know if the numbers went down when Sophia left. So they might have still gotten 60 million. You know what I mean?
I feel like the buzz definitely did.
Maybe, but they also remember Spotify's buying a brand.
Right.
Like tomorrow, if Spotify keeps the Joe Rogan Experience name and Joe Rogan goes back to Apple and just calls it the Joe Rogan Show, he's doing the same numbers.
I would literally do anything for $60 million over 3 years.
Really? Now let's see how far we can play this.
Yeah.
You do anything with like feces, or that's the normal go-to? Like eat shit, all that kind of stuff.
Well, that's not a job.
Well, it is if I'm paying you.
How often do I have to eat shit? Like once a day?
Every day. That's your breakfast, and then the rest of the day you can eat what you want. But that's your breakfast. You start the day with it.
Now, how much shit are we talking?
You're putting it in your mouth. I'll even just let you kind of like. Some days I'll let you dab it, but other days you got to eat a full, nugget at least. Like
a poodle size shit, or human, like adult male shit.
I'm gonna say smaller human shits. What you envision female shits are like.
I could do that
every day.
Well, you gotta.
First of all, you'd die.
Would you?
I gotta think eventually if you're eating someone else's shit.
Well, I feel like now if I throw up while eating it, is that still
count? It counts, and then we get back to the drawing board tomorrow. We build that stomach up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Eventually, I'm just gonna get used to it.
Sure, yeah.
For 60 mil and after
60 mil over 3 years.
Yeah.
And you're committing to this job the rest of your life, though. You've got the 60 million.
Right.
But I stopped paying you in 3 years.
Well, if I have 60 million, it's like kind of useless for you to pay me.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. As long as you're okay with that.
If you can get $60 million in my bank account, I will never ask you for a dime again.
All right. Well, you've never asked me for a dime yet, so
That's true too. That's true.
So apparently this is the equivalent of eating shit every day.
Well, I have a quotes account now, so thanks, buddy.
You're welcome, Pat. That's your payment.
Yeah. Some psycho is listening to every word I say now.
I would love to know who that is. That's funny.
I don't want to know because I feel like it'll ruin it.
Yes, don't tell Craig who you are. Just tell me.
Don't tell him either because he'll hold it over my head.
Expose yourself to me.
All right, here's the plan. Only tell us if it's Mike, my Mike.
Yeah.
He's
yeah. Everyone tell me that it's not you.
I feel like I should call him and ask him.
Well, we'll save that maybe for another day when Mike's on. Perhaps we'll grill him. I'll get the light bulb hanging and swinging. Now this will be an interesting one. Do you get rid of your kids for $60 million?
No.
You don't know what happens to them.
No.
I just come over one day.
No. I can answer that quickly.
You won't do that. Now, are you just saying that because you're on air? And like, later you'll be like, hey, by the way, if you really got the $60 million.
No, because so I've never been away from my kids. And then I was getting super excited for the honeymoon. Because finally, no kids. We can just relax. Like a day in, I was like, fuck, I kind of wish they were here.
You miss them.
Yeah. They piss you off to no fucking end. But when you're not around them, it's kind of like, fuck, man.
All right, well, I'll go a little lighter then. So that's your line.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say, how about we get rid of the wife? You don't know what happens to her. $60 million?
Can't do that. She carried my kids. If I had no kids, that could be a different answer.
Yeah, but that feels like some negotiating could happen.
No, because
kids, I feel like I wasn't going to break through. Now I feel like I've got a little negotiating power.
My daughter's just going to come up to me like, whatever happened to mama? I'm like, well, do you like that Porsche over there?
Give her a few bucks. Don't worry about a kid.
You're crying.
Stop asking questions.
I cry into these, rip off a few hundreds.
So we've proven you won't do anything for $60 million. Would you do the Sofia Franklin show?
Dude, honestly, I might end up as a permanent anchor on Hanging with Blind Mike if I did that for 3 years. Oh, man, I wanted to swallow a bullet listening to one episode.
Now, you don't have to pay me. Just let me back.
Wait, could I do what I want on her show, or is it I have to be like, oh my god, can you believe that top?
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah,
you have to try and fit in as best you can.
Ugh. Dude, they spent 15 minutes talking about how high-waisted bikinis are gross.
Well, I mean, aren't they grody?
I didn't think so.
Well, you don't know shit, man. That's why you see, we're in sync already. Me and Sophia just get each other.
Yeah.
That would be, here's the thing about, I'll say people like that is obviously, I think it goes without saying, I'm not legitimately throwing my hat in the ring for that. I don't think Sophia wants any part of me, but I will say someone like Sofia Franklin, I get the vibe, wouldn't see the humor in someone like me being on a show like that, even for one episode.
No.
You know what I mean? Like people like her do look down at people, which is pretty shitty.
Smarter than you, hotter than you, cooler than you, richer than you.
Yeah, but that's also not an act either.
No, it's not.
And isn't the whole, is the context of that, is she actually saying that to someone, or is she
I don't
quoting?
I believe so. I think it was,
Because I was going to say, isn't her whole act kind of like, hey, we're poor, we live paycheck to paycheck, just slumming around.
Oh, man, it's you have to try to figure out each month of doing. I mean, I could deal with it. I think I was going to say you have to go. How many months at $1 million per month could you do that show with her?
Yeah. Well, I think the rules would have to be if you don't complete it, you get none of it.
Well, that's what you don't complete the month.
If you don't complete the 3 years, you get none of it.
Ooh, yeah, I could do it.
Yeah. Well, Kirk has asked me this just about like hack morning radio. And my answer is always I would try it. But the problem is like, would I be able to not break character?
I would
Like
not,
my intention would always be not to.
I would literally break in the first day.
See, I think I'd be good. I could do it for a while. I'd have fun.
I think I would have to do some practice rounds before it actually counted, because I would hear a story and then just make like a fun joke about it that I think would be funny, and not like be like, oh, can you believe that this, like my first day would be like the like a Elliot Page coming out day, and I'd
well, that's the thing. I think it would be really easy for me to be like, Sophia, can you believe what that douche texted you? Like, oh my God.
see, I could have fun with that, but I wouldn't be serious.
That would be fun for me. But what would be difficult is when people like, when me and Sophia really take off, and then I have these assholes tweeting videos like, that's not really you pussy.
Labrat says Opie and Sophia show.
That'd be great.
I would listen to that, because he would
And
get her.
I don't know if this is what he meant by that, but Opie would do that in a second and change his personality. You know what I mean? Like the scenario we're talking about, like, would we be able to pull it off? Opie would.
I feel like he would break though.
I don't think so. Because I think the whole edgy Opie thing was kind of a phony act.
Yeah.
You can't leave a show like that and complain that the guys razzed you too much.
Oh yeah.
And really be the destroyer,
Oh, Opie. This is a perfect drop for the Opie and Sophia show. It's just, they make fun of Chip, just her after every sentence.
Listen to this segue.
She
is Chip. Chip Franklin.
Listen to this segue.
Hold on. I got one. Oh, poor Sofia Franklin.
That'd be funny.
Boy, we did that a lot longer than I expected. But do you still want to talk about Stewart and Colbert?
Yeah, that was great. They're talking about me being a right-leaning guy. They're talking in the comments about me on Jerry's show. Craig and Callahan, so far right there in your glove box.
I love that.
Yeah, there you go. Steve's
that is I don't know if that's what they were referencing, but that is like an old-timey radio. Like if you were however far the AM dial goes, 1600 AM. Any further to the right, it'd be in your glove box.
You've done that.
Have I said that before?
On KMS a couple times.
Yeah, okay.
That was a nice callback. Let's talk about the things I think left-leaning shit.
I think Jerry would be like, Jesus Christ. All right.
Did you listen to Jerry's today with his new producer?
Oh, I forgot. No, I forgot that he saw. Listen to that when we're done. I forgot that he started. I forgot Cullinan's full time now.
I will say that the new producer seems like a great guy. Couldn't get sound to play for the life of him.
Really?
Yeah.
Was Jerry pissed?
No, he's like, yeah, producers, I did it 300 times and not when I go to play it now. Like, just saying that. He's like, but this kid is an infantry war veteran.
Okay.
So he's just right up Jerry's alley.
Oh, Jerry must love that.
They like
share old war stories.
Yeah, people think I'm a war groupie.
Well, good for Jerry. I hope that works out.
Yeah.
Although he should have hired Carano or Craig, but what can I tell you?
Yeah.
So Jon Stewart was on Colbert, and I just thought the funny angle, I don't know if you picked up on this, Craig, but was Colbert's reaction?
Colbert being like, whoa.
So you can start it probably about where I time stamped it, right?
I went slightly before, like 5 seconds.
Okay, perfect.
But let me pull this puppy up here.
So Jon Stewart's on Colbert, and they're talking about it's I believe that was Colbert's first show back in front of a live studio audience. So they were kind of talking about that.
Oh.
How do you feel about the science now?
Well, so I will say this. I honestly mean this. I think we owe a great debt of gratitude to science. Science has, in many ways, helped ease the suffering of this pandemic, which was more than likely caused by science. So,
I mean, don't you just miss that type of shit on the Daily Show?
Mind-boggling shit.
You're right, Sophia.
I do. This whole segment made me miss the Daily Show and realize how much Trevor Noah fucking sucks.
And you know what else it made you realize is like how, as much as Jon Stewart was clearly a liberal and let that show on the Daily Show, his first goal was funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he could come out tomorrow and say he's fucking joking about it. He's like, I don't believe that bullshit. But it was still funny.
Right.
Like, it's funny to do on the Colbert show. Whereas Trevor Noah is like, no. Let me make a poignant argument right now. Let me make a point that makes people think, wow, that guy is intelligent and woke.
What a woke fella. I don't think Jon Stewart was joking at all in this clip.
No. But my point is, if tomorrow he says, I was fucking around, I think it came from a bat, then it would be, who cares?
Yeah, but the best way to describe Colbert is that there's someone holding a shotgun to his nuts underneath the desk.
Yes, so he's very nervous. So this is the position Colbert is in right now. His career was started by Jon Stewart, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure on some level he looks up to Jon Stewart. He knows that Jon Stewart gave him the opportunity that launched where he is now.
Oh,
but
sure.
He also knows that there are people watching his show who are seething right now and calling Jon Stewart an alt-right Nazi because he has this opinion.
I guarantee you this is the most viewed thing that they do for the next 6 months.
Now that Trump's out of office for sure, yeah.
Just focus on Colbert and just realize how uncomfortable he is, people.
Yeah.
and that's kind of, hold on one second. No. Listen.
It's coffee.
By the way, Jon Stewart, he's wearing a dress shirt with a tie and jeans tucked in with no belt. Awkward look.
He's a cool guy.
Hip.
He's just hanging.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't do that to you.
I'm
So
all
what
for
do you?
spit takes,
But
but-
what do you mean by that? Do you mean like
Well, so
this was
here's-
perhaps there's a chance that this was created in a lab? There's an investigation.
Yeah, so what you're saying is it's possible, maybe? You're saying we don't know, right, John?
The guy who funded the fucking lab just had leaks that said that of him saying that it was.
Stuttering instead. So what you're saying is maybe there's like a 1% chance it could have possibly happened, right? You're not being crazy, right, John?
Come on, John. Jon Stewart should be, he should go back to the Daily Show because he's exactly what the country needs.
Well, so here's the problem. You're wrong, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because you could say the same about Bill Maher, who is an incredibly liberal guy, but sometimes comes out and says, hey, you children are being fucking ridiculous right now, and it's time for daddy to put you in your place. You can cut that if you like. And Bill Maher gives him a good tongue lashing. And the response is not, oh, hey, you know what? This is a pretty liberal guy who's been for all the rights that we pretend to be for forever, way before we were even around. So maybe we should listen to him. Instead, they say, he's a Nazi. Bill Maher is a Nazi. So you're wrong. If the Daily Show, if Jon Stewart went back to the Daily Show, they would try and cancel him. And then it would become like an alt-right thing somehow.
The thing with Jon Stewart, though, is I agree with some things he says and some things he doesn't. But no matter what he's talking about, I will listen to the whole thing.
Right. Well, because he's a funny, interesting guy. And I think he, on some level, always stuck to what he said to Tucker Carlson when Tucker was on CNN. And Jon Stewart was giving him all kinds of shit. I forget what the exact context was, but Jon Stewart gave him all kinds of shit for asking softball questions to someone. And Tucker Carlson goes, you had so-and-so on, and didn't grill him. And Jon Stewart goes, yeah, because my lead-in is fucking puppets making prank phone calls. And I believe Jon Stewart had a much better grasp of that than Trevor Noah or any of these other people do. Including Colbert.
Yeah. Ted says, was Jon Stewart a comedian or actor before The Daily Show? And I said yes to both.
Yeah, but he was in Big Daddy. But yeah, more well known for his stand-up.
Yeah, he was a stand-up in like the 80s.
Yeah.
He was with Seinfeld and all that stuff.
I wouldn't do that to you. I
all
wouldn't do
for-
that to you.
I'm
So
all
what
for
do you
spit takes,
but
but-
what do you mean by that? Do you mean like
Well, so
this was
here's-
perhaps there's a chance that this was created in a lab? There's an investigation.
A chance.
Well,
Oh my
if there was
God.
evidence, I'd love to hear it.
There's
I
a
just don't know.
novel respiratory coronavirus overtaking Wuhan, China. What do we do? Oh, you know who we could ask? The Wuhan Novel Respiratory Coronavirus Lab. It's the same name. That's just a little.
So pause. I don't even know if he's fucking right. You know, I don't know. I don't give a shit if he's right, to be honest with you.
You want
I'm
to
not the one who should be investigating that.
You know?
But it's fucking funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what happened to caring about that more than, and I've said this before, in a way, guys like George Carlin ruined comedy because there are people that looked at what George Carlin did and said, what I should do is also be a philosopher. But what they forget is George Carlin was also extremely funny and smarter than all of them.
Every single one of them.
So, like, look at fucking Colbert panicking at this. When did someone say, hey, Stephen, you pretended to be Bill O'Reilly for like 10 years on Comedy Central.
It was the funniest fucking show.
Why are you acting nervous about this? I don't understand it.
I don't know if I've said this on this show or not, but the funniest thing was the day that Obama got elected to his second term. I watched the Daily Show and the Colbert Report. I watch both of them all the time. And it starts off with a disheveled Colbert in his pajamas eating popcorn. And the way his show starts is he just looks at the camera and he goes, "Hey, America, fuck you." And then it goes into the credits.
Now, you know what's sad is I bet we are closer to a time where that clip comes up and Stephen Colbert says, "I'm sorry for thinking that was funny.
My God.
I've changed. I was a different guy. That was a different climate in the country."
Oh, if he apologizes for that.
I mean, I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying in general, that's the tone of Stephen Colbert now, as opposed to the hilarious guy that followed Jon Stewart for years.
Well, I don't know how far we're going to get into this video, but I am going to play the send-off
Okay.
because that is the part that jumped out at me the most.
Yeah, keep playing. We'll see how we do here.
Don't you think? And then they asked the scientists, they're like, how did this? So wait a minute, you work at the Wuhan Respiratory Coronavirus Lab. How did this happen? And they're like, a pangolin kissed a turtle. Like, no, the name of your lab. Look at the name.
You know what's very subtly funny, by the way, is that Jon Stewart is enough of a veteran comedian to know, like, I'm going to do an accent here because it would be funny, but I'm not going to do that accent.
I'm not going to do that one. You just got like the red alarm going off.
Oh, you're not going to get me, folks. I know what I'm saying is already controversial, so.
The truth is controversial. Well, that's how you know it's actually true too, because Colbert didn't challenge him on it.
Yes and no. The reason I'd say you're wrong is only because, like, I don't think Colbert would challenge Jon Stewart on anything.
That's
the
true.
same way. I mean, like, I thought he did for a comedian. I thought he did a good job, kind of challenging Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
But like Jon Stewart's someone he actually respects and wants to be kind of seen kissing up to, in a way.
Yeah.
So I think there would be more of an inner conflict for him to question him.
True.
Look at the name. Let me see your business card. Show me your business card. Oh, I work at the coronavirus lab in Wuhan. Oh, because there's a coronavirus loose in Wuhan. How did that happen? Maybe a bat flew into the cloaca of a turkey and then it's into my chili and now we all have coronavirus.
The accent's close.
Okay. What about this? Listen to this.
Wait a second.
All right,
John.
Oh my God.
Again, Colbert's like, hey, let me pump the brakes on this. The instinct of any good comedian. Hey, let me stop you.
I'm surprised. He's probably just confused because the audience is hysterically laughing, and he probably hasn't heard real laughs in forever.
Well, I mean, yeah, he has been locked in his house also. So,
Well, it's just pumped in bullshit like fake laughs.
Yeah.
I guarantee it says laugh. like above the stage or some shit.
But that's what sheep the audience are too. Like if this were someone in a red tie, as Bill Burr says, they'd be booing him.
Yeah, boo, boo.
You know what I mean? So like I like what John, and it's good. They should laugh because it's funny. But if it were fucking Ted Cruz on here, hey, fuck you, pal, because then they would know. Oh, you can't say that.
How dare you? How fucking dare you?
But good for Jon Stewart. Yeah, so we can go. I mean, that's the gist of it. But we can go to the point that you were talking about, where Colbert. But yeah, it's a lot of that where Colbert's like, "Hey, hold on a second, wait a minute."
Let's see here. Listen to this.
I've been to that lab.
Oh, I know. I know. We have to take a brief break, John.
What?
Yes. We'll be right back with more of wherever this edit happened. Stick around.
And there was an edit too, right?
I didn't see one.
Oh, it looked like they kind of cut there. But yeah, he references that once or twice. He's like, if any of this makes it, that sort of thing.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And to be fair, that is kind of a crutch. I'm sure I probably did it earlier in this episode where you kind of just go like, if any of this makes it, or we'll cut that out or whatever.
Yeah, but you can tell when you're joking and he's serious.
Yeah, I think he would have liked that to not be on there, but then he realized it was the entire segment. So
I'm curious what they followed it up with, because apparently he lasted through the commercial break.
I heard he talking about it again.
Oh, did he?
He kept bringing it up. But yeah,
it.
so that's a little note. And what's amazing to me, this is what's so amazing about our generation, is that instead we don't learn anything. No one builds up credit, and there's no there are very few epiphanies where we learn something from our elders. Instead, our generation and younger will look at that and say, oh, I guess Jon Stewart is now a Nazi. There will never be a second of, oh, hey, Jon Stewart thinks like us. So either he's joking and that's pretty funny, or that's his real opinion, and maybe we should take a look at that. It's no. Oh, Jon Stewart has changed. He's not one of us anymore. Let's get rid of him.
It's a bunch of Justins just pulling what he did on Madawaska Rob. He's a Nazi.
That's right. That's right. Who knew that Justin is just like the rest of these millennials? But yeah, I thought that way. And it kind I wanted to talk a little more about this, but I think we're kind of running out of time here. But that Kevin Hart thing, did you see I tweeted that?
I did not.
So The Guardian, but I don't know much about The Guardian. Are they I'm assuming they are, but are they a liberal, particularly liberal rag?
I don't know, actually.
Yeah, I don't know much about it. I am assuming they are, particularly based on this article. They, bring it up if you can, I guess, just because there's some funny, the fury with which they cover this. So I didn't know Kevin Hart, I guess, is in a movie coming up called Fatherhood, which will be on Netflix. I saw he did like an interview with the LA Times where he was talking about cancel culture and that sort of thing. I didn't realize the reason was he's promoting this movie coming out. So apparently it'll be on Netflix this weekend. It might be up now. I'm not sure when it's coming out. But the plot is essentially Kevin Hart's wife dies. Spoiler alert. And, he has to raise his newborn daughter on his own. Apparently it's based on a book. And the book just focuses on the first year of the daughter's life. But I believe the movie jumps ahead when the daughter's a little older. And she deals with, I think the way they phrased it was like gender nonconformity or something. So they didn't go all in and say she was transgendered or anything like that. But she is apparently like dressing in boys' clothes and that sort of thing. Breaking down gender stereotypes. And Kevin Hart is playing a father who has to deal with that, I guess. So this Guardian article, again, you can't fucking win. So Kevin Hart, if you don't remember, got kicked out of the Oscars. He was supposed to host the Oscars. He got kicked off because he had, quote, homophobic tweets. And they found stand-up bits also where they said he didn't want his son to be gay. Now, you could look at this movie and say maybe Kevin Hart has grown because years ago, more than a decade ago, he turned down Tropic Thunder, the Al Pacino character. because he didn't want to play a gay character. So you
Wow.
could look at this now and say, well, it's not, he's not playing a gay character, but maybe he's come a long way. Maybe he's, kind of advanced and grown as a person. Instead, The Guardian took the opportunity to say, look at this piece of shit begging for forgiveness. And it's like, you can't cut the guy a fucking break. You can't say, hey, good job, Kev. You're coming around. You're growing. They go, no, he's faking it.
Kevin Hart, that Hart would want to be portrayed as a kind, patient man at this particular juncture of his career makes sense. And his possible ulterior motives don't even feel all that intrusive on the agreeably low-key melodrama. Until that behind-the-scenes context crosses the line from canny casting to manipulation.
So they're saying, The Guardian says, there's zero chance that Kevin Hart has said, you know what? That was shitty. Those things that I said were shitty. I shouldn't have joked about that kind of stuff. It's hard for gay youth. Maybe I have a lot of young followers. Maybe there were people that made it harder for to come out. It's not possible that he said that and said, I want to take an acting role that kind of makes a difference. Because it's more likely that everyone kind of forgot about this controversy.
Mm-hmm.
And yet Kevin Hart wants to remind them by being in a movie about it. That's the more likely option to The Guardian.
Ugh.
That's what annoys me the most about this bullshit is you can never grow, you can never change. And they say, hey, you need to go to rehab to take some time and think about what you've done. Well, maybe Kevin Hart did that. Maybe he didn't get on his knees and grovel, but he still was able to grow.
Oh, I just got a fucking awesome idea. I'll tell you after. I want to go on a journey with whoever writes these fucking articles from when they get the idea to, first draft to the editor's first words.
Right.
Be like,
how do I spin this? Because the movie came out and the guy thought, well, how do I spin this to make Kevin Hart look like an asshole?
Right.
That angle was in his mind before he saw a second of the movie.
Correct.
And if anyone else was in this and did the exact same acting, if they put fucking Will Smith in this, you'd be glowing about how progressive it is. This is needed in this time. But instead, they found a way. You thought they could never criticize a movie that deals with these issues. They figured it out. Just put Kevin Hart in one.
Yeah, nothing says I hate gay people like playing a single dad.
Yeah, a single dad raising a non-binary child. Oh, that's that's what I wanted to say also. That's what it made me think of where, do you think a lot of let's just pull a name out of a hat, say Joseph Goebbels, a real Nazi, genuine Nazi, like a guy who was actually probably racist, I would say.
Mm.
Do you think he kind of went out of his way to pretend he wasn't racist?
No.
Do you think he invited gay people and black people over his house for dinner to be like, see, I'm just a regular guy?
He kills them as they leave.
I don't think these crazy racist, these real racists are going out of their way to prove they're not racist, or these crazy homophobic people are taking the extra mile to prove they're not homophobic. It just seems so fucking silly to me. But
Right.
all right, we had a lot of other stuff to get to, but I guess we'll save it. We'll put in the old tickler file and get back to it another time.
Yeah.
I smelled like steak.
Yes. Thank you. Maybe she should join Tom Myers. Well, maybe not yet. We'll see if she sticks around, and maybe she can join Tom Myers in the outro.
Right. Go to teespring.com/blindmike. Buy some.
Yes.
Shit.
And / very good show, right?
teespring.com/stores/very good show.
Ah, yes. You have to go the extra step for that.
Yeah.
But buy your merch. Buy Very Good Show merch. Buy Blind Mike merch. Patreon.com/Blind Mike. Tiers start as little as $1 a month. Come join us.
Sure.
And you get 2 months free if you sign up for a year.
Yeah.
Basically.
Do it. People been doing it.
And for you Patreon members, are you around this weekend? In the mornings?
Me?
Yeah.
I am working Saturday.
Working Saturdays, possibly Sunday, even though it's Father's Day.
Maybe.
Maybe. So that's a maybe, folks. We may see you this weekend, but if not, we will talk to you whenever on the Blind Mike Project. Goodbye.
And I think to myself,